Hey everybody, this is Doug with Artfully Rogue. So in the beginning of May, as you may or may not have heard, I went to Maker Central in the UK. And while walking around there at the event, there was something that was very obvious to me as a metal worker, that the event was or seemed to be predominantly woodworkers. Many of the demonstrations were of people turning wood on a lathe, and many of the people that I met were woodworkers or wood turners or have turned wood. And being in the metal shop, I don't often do wood. It's one of those things that I would like to at some point. Just means getting the tools to do that. I mean, I have the basic tools. But as I was standing at my drill press building a reception desk that I recently finished, and I'm watching the drill bit turn, I'm like, wait a minute, I wonder if I can modify this drill press to do kind of a wood turning attempt here in the shop. So that's kind of what this is going to be. There's a lot of cool wood turners out there. I'm definitely not one of them because I've never ever tried it. And if you get a chance, I'm going to leave some links to some of the cool people that I met who turn wood at the Maker Central. Drew over at Ox in the Shop, Nick at NZ Woodturning, he's the guy who kind of put the whole thing together. Heath Knuckles do some really cool stuff as well. There's a lot of people, and I'll make sure I get as many of them down there in the description as possible. But let's see what I can kind of come up with. First, I got to make the tool, I suppose. So I went to Rockler here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I went and saw some of their wood turning tools. And I didn't want to spend like $100 on a tool, so I just got the blade part. And having never done this before, this kind of seemed to be a good one to try to make a bowl. So now I need to find something to put that on. Well, in my shop, I have a lot of scrap metal. Now I have no idea what this came off of, but it already kind of had a hole right here. It seems pretty sturdy. I mean, it's nice and solid. It's stainless. So I'm going to drill a hole and then tap it so I can attach this little blade. Well, so I hit my first problem, and my tap broke off in there. So I guess I'm going to have to try again. Take two, tapping that thing. Just got to take it nice and slow. Sorry for the background noise. That's my evaporative cooler. We're getting into the early afternoon here in Phoenix. And while today is not supposed to be in the triple digits, it does still get kind of hot out there. It's the only way I can keep the shop cool. Yeah, that'd be number 2 tap that has now broken. Luckily, this is there's enough of it out of there, I might be able to get it out. Okay, well I tried to get it out, and yeah, well that didn't work. We're gonna go for another piece of metal. Okay, so whatever this was hard stainless something, man. This is like rock hard. So that's a second tap that I broke off inside of there. All right. So this was a piece of ballast from a stair project I did, mild steel, 1/2 inch, and so plus it's got this kind of cool shape. So if I could rest it on something and I can rock it back and forth, I've seen you guys do that a couple of times. So we're gonna tap this sucker. Ah, there we go. Success. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so it looks like I need to take off that corner just a little bit. And heck yeah, this is coming together. Crikey, man, this is like a little tiny thing.
especially with my big fat fingers. Check this out though. Woohoo! We're getting in there. It's not tightening all the way down, so I think I need to... So the screw wasn't setting in there nice and tight, so I've added a little washer. I mean, hell, I'm using like a mild steel stair ballast as a turning tool for a blade that I've never used. What was it you said, Drew? Hey, how dangerous could it be? Give it a shot. Well, all right, here we go. That's nice and tight there now. All right, now let's make the plate that is going to go on the piece of wood. All right, let's try this thing. So I'm sure that I'm going to have to modify this center post, but let's see. Not too bad. Now I just got to figure out how to make it like horizontal. All right, let me say that I've only watched this from a distance, so to be honest with you, and I haven't even looked in this on the internet yet, I'm not even sure if I'm using this the right direction, or do you go counterclockwise or clockwise? I think I'm figuring it out, but I don't know. I figured if anything, just take it nice and slow. But it's working. I'm sure that the RPMs could probably be a little bit quicker, but the thing with the drill press that I've noticed, because it's a belt drive, is that if I get too deep into the wood, it actually just stops. So I'm not going to say that it's not safe or not dangerous, but at least that's a safety thing, I think. Yeah, I notice as I get further out, it's definitely a little bit more wobbly and tends to stop a little bit more often. But I can put this drill press base up against my chest, and it gives me something really solid to hang on to. Okay, so I have to say that was actually a lot of fun, and I still have all my fingers. And the irony here is I posted a quick video on Instagram that my dad saw, who lives out in Texas, and he said he has a wood lathe that's been sitting in his shop that he's never used. So on my next trip out to Texas, I might just get me a wood lathe. But I tell you, this was kind of fun for just kind of throwing something together in a few hours. I like projects like this because it really forces you to think outside the box. And you really kind of get your creative mind going when you have to come up with a way to do something. So it's a good exercise to see how far you can push your mind and how far you can push the limits of what you can create. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please leave those below. And hey, if you have any suggestions on how to make this process a little bit better, then go ahead. Okay, other than say buy a wood lathe and get the right tools. But hey, I'll see you in the next video.